girls go to hell.
And I felt it important to put in context in the chat, even, that this was a film made by one Doris Wishman. So I felt the fact that it was a film made by a woman might change the context a little bit, because it was just there wasn't much of a story beyond the female protagonist just going through a series of sexual assaults, starting with the janitor in her apartment building who assaults her in a stairwell, and then she goes back to see him for some reason, and he attacks her again, and she grabs like a heavy ass 1960s ashtray or something that looks big and ceramic, and beats him to death over the head with it. And then she decides that she's got to run from the law because she's going to go to prison for killing this guy. So she goes to New York and meets up with one person after another who promises to take her in, take care of her, things like that. And they turn out to assault her, and she'll either run off or whatever. But this is it looks like it was restored, or maybe it's just one of those well-preserved black and whites. But the audio is easy to hear. It's dubbed. The footage is clear, and this actually does have its audience. This is a known film. I think this is one of the popular ones from the Something Weird collection. And some of the reviews I read for it said things like transcends the gutter, and another asked if it's a groundbreaking vision of female desire, things like that. But at an hour long, I just found it kind of a irritating slog through these scenes of sexual aggression that came to no real sensible resolution, seemed to be being done for their own sake because the narrative really wasn't there. It turns out she wakes up at the end and it was all just a dream, and she's really there with her husband, and it hadn't happened. And then she goes out to the stairwell where she sees the janitor, and they start just replaying the footage of him assaulting her. So I guess she dreamt that it would happen before it was happening, and then it just ends there with her being assaulted in the stairwell. So the meaning, the message, unclear enough to make me think that just it was made for the sake of just watching those scenes, which I really wasn't into, and I don't understand why there was such a big fucking scene in the 1960s, why there was a genre they called roughies, and why this still has an audience of advocates now. And so, to answer for the advocates, Luther, tell me.
I'm not an advocate for the roughies genre of sexploitation films.
Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.